Welcome to the Make Creative Podcast. Today we've got a guest right here with us. Her name is Kira and she plays the harp. So without further ado, I'll hand over to her.
Beautiful.
I was starting to at first I was apprehensive about intros, but I'm slowly falling in love with them.
There's so much personality.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Oh, damn.
Sam, do you need to be shown how to use a mic stand?
Nope.
Yeah, just mic technique 101.
Yep. Sorry. I didn't hear a single thing of what you sung.
Oh.
I assume it was all right.
Yeah,
It was really good.
Yeah, I think it was okay.
It was beautiful.
There was a point where I said some things and words were sung.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Hello and welcome to the Make Creative Podcast, your monthly podcast of creativeness. My name is Sam and with me as always is...
Connor, how you guys doing?
And today we have an awesome guest who I'm super excited about. She is Kira.
Hi.
She's a harpist.
Yep.
I got that right.
Correct term. Right, the correct terminology. No messing around
Thanks
this
so
time.
much for having you guys. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, I really appreciate that.
Oh.
We're
You're
very
welcome.
excited to have you.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was real that you were coming until you were here,
And
and
then
I appreciate it.
When I saw that glorious harp come out of the bag, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome, oh man!"
Came out of the bag.
Yeah.
So Kira,
But without we can't forget our wonderful sound guy
Oh, true.
who's also here.
Hello.
Joel, do you want to say hello?
Hello.
and that is the last you'll hear of Joel.
Yeah.
So Kira, how'd you get into playing the harp?
Well, I was homeschooled up until year 11. And my family went to a homeschooling group once a week. And I remember from the time of being 5 years old, I wanted to play the harp and I didn't know why and I didn't really know what it was. And then this magical harp lady showed up at the homeschooling group and was like, I teach the harp. Oops. And I was like, I want to learn the harp. And then I did. And then I never stopped.
You never stopped.
I never stopped. I
Wow.
probably will never stop.
Yeah, it was one of those
God
things
willing.
that's just gripped you, you were addicted, you just couldn't stop.
No, I didn't really like it when I started. Yeah. Okay. But mum was like, you have to practice. And I was like, But then I did. And I'm so glad that I did. Because now I can play the harp.
So what was that moment? Was there a pinnacle moment that you particularly remember where you were like, what I'm playing is actually beautiful and it's so pretty and I love it? Is there a particular moment?
It was a really gradual,
Okay.
over years, I
okay.
grew to dislike it less and then to actually like it. And then there was actually one moment when I was practicing and I was like, that just sounded like how I wanted it to sound and I intentionally made it sound that way. That's cool.
So it's just it flowed from your fingers?
Yeah, I just kind of reached a point of knowing that I had control over the instrument and what I was doing.
That's so cool. I can imagine having control over a harp is a little bit more difficult than me strumming a guitar.
You'd actually be surprised. Guitar's really difficult, guys.
Okay.
Guitar terrifies me.
Really?
Yeah, because you can get the same note on all different strings. Whereas with the harp, it's like, I want to see. I know exactly where that is and it's just one string and I just play that one string.
Right, okay.
So every string is a different note. Is that?
Yeah, that's
okay.
right.
I don't know a lot about harp, so I'm very fascinated by the whole process.
Yeah, well.
I learnt today that the harp has foot pedals.
It does.
I genuinely didn't know that. I don't
Yeah.
know what they do. Can you tell me
They
what they
change the pitch of the strings, so that's how you get your sharps and your flats, or essentially your black notes on a piano.
Yeah, they're not sustained pedals.
They're not sustained pedals. They're not the clutch or the accelerator or the brake. They change the pitch of the notes.
That would be wild if the harp changed gears. That would.
I had this image of her pressing the brake pedal and it's screeching to a halt.
It's a cool effect you could put on.
Yeah.
All right, next model, guys. 2023. Let's bring it out. That'd be great.
So how long have you been playing the harp now?
10 years.
Whoa, that's a long
Yeah.
time. That's very
grand.
cool. That's cool. You're also in a band, aren't you?
Just recently.
Whoa,
Yes.
okay.
Is this a band plug now?
Yeah, you can plug. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Plugging is approved.
Neshama.
Neshama.
It means breath of life.
Nice.
From like
That's
the
cool.
Hebrew in Genesis.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so it's a 3-piece band. There's me, Will, who plays trombone, and Gabby, who plays percussion and sings.
That's so
and
cool.
we are writing worship music.
Awesome.
Whoa.
That
Arranging
is
hymns.
incredibly
So-
encouraging. So
awesome.
definitely look forward to working together in the future. Yeah, so like 10 years, and you're currently studying at Whopper, is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, cool. And what are you studying at Whopper?
I'm studying classical harp performance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the only course that's offered with harp as a major. Yeah, but at the moment, I'm actually sitting in a lot of jazz classes.
Oh.
Right.
So I've deferred some of my classical units so that I have time to sit in on the jazz classes because atonal harmony is very interesting to
Right.
me.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So let's bridge some gaps as to sort of why we have you, how we know you. So Ruben, our electric guitarist, knows Kira, and also Hannah, who has been on the podcast in the past. I suppose Ruben's been on the podcast as well.
Yeah, a bunch of times. Yeah.
So
I'm assuming Ruben knows you from Whopper, right?
Yeah, we're in the same Bible study group together, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
So
crazy.
that's how we met.
Nice.
And Hannah I've known for many years.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So, so you've been playing the harp for 10 years. Do you play the harp in church sometimes?
Sometimes.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
dude.
playing this weekend.
That's
yeah, cool.
awesome.
Yeah, mostly
Dang it, I
I
was
stick
gonna
to
see.
keys. Sorry?
I was going to recruit you for my church.
If you have special events, I'd love to play.
Okay,
but
all right, I'll keep
probably
that in
not
mind.
as a
I'll
weekly
keep that in
thing.
mind. Are you doing Good Friday as well?
That's so cool. What's it like? Like genuinely, I've never seen a harp be played in a worship band before. So what is that like?
Yeah, where does
It's-
where does
where
it sort of
does it
take its
fit?
place? Yeah, where does it fit?
Yeah, it's kind of, it can take the role of melody or accompaniment.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, it can function the way that a piano would.
Yeah, okay.
And also it could function the same way a guitar would. So yeah, in the past I've played with both piano and guitar and it works out okay. It just depends on like how many people are in the band and how big the congregation is and different things and like what parts people take. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, so where are you currently going to church?
Providence City.
Providence City. Now, where is
Yeah.
Providence City?
It's believe it or not, it's not actually in the city. It's in Subiaco.
Oh, Subi.
Yeah.
Okay, Subiaco. Church
we
in
meet
Subiaco.
at,
Yeah, cool.
Perth Mod.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
campus
cool.
there.
I know where
Yep.
Perth Mod is. Yeah, that's awesome. And how long? So, I guess like how long have you been attending there? And how big is it? Is it a relatively big church or?
Yeah, it's there's 3 services across
Oh,
each
wow.
Sunday,
Oh, wow.
and each service is I don't know, maybe like 80 to 100 people
Okay.
for each one.
And how long have you been a part of like church worship? And is it just been the harp, or have you been? Because
No.
obviously you sing as well. So
yeah,
do
no, I
you-
haven't sung in church.
Haven't sung in church.
So I've only been at Prov for less than a year,
Oh, okay. Right.
and I signed up for the music team like a month or 2 ago.
Okay, cool.
And I've just been playing keys
Yeah,
so
cool.
far.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how
awesome.
many instruments can you play? Because you were playing guitar before as well.
I wouldn't actually say like I play the harp and I dabble in it. I'm not very good at anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's-
She says that she played I See Fire before and it sounded
oh,
great.
great. That's like so easy.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, I guess how do you kind of see how you play the harp in relation to your faith and what kind of comes out? Because like, you know, guitar I pick up and I'm like, yeah, I play a song along for worship, but as part of my worship, like how is playing the harp a part of your worship?
Ooh, that's a good question. Like for me personally.
Yeah, for you
just at home?
personally.
Yeah, I actually prefer if I'm just like in my room worshiping God by myself, I'll be playing piano or guitar, not harp, because I play piano first, and
Yep.
so that comes more naturally to me. So I can kind of, you know, remove the thinking aspect about like thinking about the technicalities of it
Yeah.
and just play.
Yeah.
in terms of, I don't really know where God's going to take me after uni. But I hope that it's something to do with the harp, and that's what I'm praying for.
Yeah.
And I do know of a missionary in Japan who plays the harp.
Whoa.
And she just puts on like services, and people come and she will play hymns and share testimonies.
That's
and so
cool.
yeah, so I'm not sure what avenues God's going to take me down. I do write a lot of my own music as well. So
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. Very open at the moment.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like taking opportunities, seeing what comes up.
So what got you into like songwriting and stuff as well?
Assignments. In year
That's
11.
always helpful, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
So you got kind of like got a little shove into it, like
Yeah.
do some songwriting.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
'Cause after completing my first song, I was like, oh, I could get into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how I kind of want to like reminisce a little bit here because I like Sam and I obviously write songs as well.
Yeah.
How did you feel after writing your first song?
Ooh. Well, I kind of half written songs up to that point, but I had to finish this one because it was from assignment. I felt, how did I feel? Just like a real sense of satisfaction.
Yeah. What about? How about this? How did you feel? Because I'm assuming, did you show it to someone? Did you show it to your parents or to a friend or something? Like,
yeah.
you finished writing it and you show. How did you feel in that moment of like you're sharing your first song you've ever written fully? That's like complete and like this is it. Sharing that with someone else, and how did you feel in that moment?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I was like, I did a thing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean,
I say this because Sam had like a pretty similar thing. Like we wrote a song, and after we wrote the song, we actually went to Hannah.
Yeah.
And we sort of showed her and a couple other people there. And I'd written like a bunch of songs before that, and performed. But for Sam, this was his first song, and like I remember sharing my first one. I was like, I think I wrote a song, and I was actually at Joel's place, hanging out with some of Joel's siblings, and I showed them the song, and they were the first person. I was like, all giddy, and I was just like that. I was like, well, yeah, I just did this thing. You know, like, but I remember Sam also like having a similar feeling when we sort of showed. Although you were really nervous, right?
yeah, I was really nervous.
Yeah.
I also had it again recently.
Yeah, okay.
So I unlike you, when I was doing assignments in music in like school, when they made you song write, I remember my friends do my assignments for me.
No.
So that's why I'd never written a song beforehand.
Wow.
It would have been around Christmas time was the first time I wrote a song completely by myself.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I showed my now girlfriend, not girlfriend at the time,
Yep.
the song that I had written by myself for the first time. And that was awesome and nerve-wracking and terrifying.
It's such a personal thing. It's like
Yeah,
you're exposing a piece of your heart to someone.
Yeah, and that's something I always find interesting. I remember talking to someone about it. Like I've had this discussion before, but like the idea of like people get like very like personal with their singing voice. Like even if people don't consider themselves singers, they're still like quite generally shy to sing around it. You know, like there's some people who are kind of like if they're not really like particularly like they don't really care about something, then they'll just like join in and be silly and whatever. But singing, I find, no matter who they are, there's always this like sort of intense nervousness about like sharing your voice. And I think there's like an inherent spiritual power with like your voice and especially when it comes to music, you know, this is a tool as a tool or a gift given by God that we can actually worship him. So and using that and sharing that with other people can be intense, but it can also be really exciting. Now, I want to talk about the harp.
Yeah.
That thing is absolutely majestic. So what kind of harp is it and who is it made by?
Ooh, okay. So this is a concert grand harp, which is like it's the biggest size that you're going to find for a harp. It's like a standard professional harp. It's the cheapest professional model from that brand, which is Line and Healy, and they're based in Chicago in America. His name is Gabriel.
You named your
I've
harp.
named my harp.
Nice,
I named my
nice.
instruments. Yep, he's Gabriel.
It's not. It's just clarifying. It's not because of you're not going to take a sledgehammer to it, like Peter Gabriel.
What?
It's all right. Don't worry. Old song. He's a guy, Peter Gabriel. He wrote a song called Sledgehammer. Don't worry. It's fine.
No.
It's all good.
No.
It's all right.
That would terrify me. Also, I keep getting distracted and looking at the harp, so I'm sorry if I'm suddenly caught out. Like, oh, this is
No,
so
that's
cool.
okay.
I thought
I
like,
look at it as well.
there's some particular things about that as well. Like you do, you sort of pinch the strings. I notice so as you play it, and it
Yeah.
sort of like gives it like a little like a very like a pop almost
Yeah.
as you play it.
Those are
And
harmonics.
the harmonics,
What
yeah.
it's
So
doing,
I know harmonics on guitar,
Yeah.
but it's not quite the same because you kind of just hover your finger over and you go, tick, and it does the same thing.
Yeah, well, you
But-
block the string off with the palm of your hand.
Yeah,
and
that's
then-
it. Because obviously with this one, you got like the nut to like the nut and the bridge to put pressure on the string, but you don't have
Yeah.
that on a harp, so you have to do that with your hand.
Yep.
So that's really interesting.
I have a technical question.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know if it's interesting for anyone else, but I literally just stared at you in the harp while you were tuning it. How do you tune a harp? And like, do you tune every string? Like, that's
Yep.
crazy. Every single string.
I didn't tune every string tonight because I didn't
Need.
need all of them.
Oh, okay.
Which is I probably should have. It's a bit lazy of me, but just for the sake of time.
No judgment.
Yeah, it doesn't take long though. It's only like
Okay.
5 minutes. So there's pins that the strings attached to up here. They go all the way through the neck,
Yep.
and then on the other side of the neck you attach a key, which
Okay.
is
Similar to like a drum key.
yeah, similar to a drum key, and then you just loosen or tighten the string.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Now you may not know this, but you may know this. Testing your harp knowledge. Why the weird shape?
Ooh, no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
I know that Celtic harps. So like back ages ago, the Egyptians had harps, and
Right.
they were shaped more like this.
Okay.
Like
yep.
it was like there was no pillar.
Yeah,
It
okay.
was just kind of this C shape, and they were like 7 feet tall, apparently.
Oh,
Really big. And then this Celtic harp model kind of developed in Ireland and
Okay.
like Welsh.
Because I always
areas.
see like it always seems like a very peculiar shape.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, like the whole thing is just like a who made this? You know, like who thought that this would be a good idea?
Yeah, well, I think it's beautiful.
Oh, it's
It's
awesome.
beautiful,
Yeah.
but like it's so unusual. Like
Yeah.
it's such an unusual shape, and it's such a it's unusual design, but it looks really like pretty, especially like it's all hand carved, and it's
Yeah.
it's just an awesome piece of instrument.
Sorry, we're just blown.
Yeah, go for it.
I didn't think you were actually coming until you were here. Like, I was like, a harpist? No way. Like, so I'm blown away right now.
So, yeah. So there's other harps, right?
Yeah.
So do you know how to play other harps?
They're all kind of similar.
Okay.
Actually, that's not true. All of them.
They're all similar. Actually, no.
Okay, so there's like this standard kind of harp where it's just one row of strings and it's genuinely a triangular shape. And you either have pedals or levers that run along the top of the strings to change the pitch. Those I can play. There's a string you can get, harp you can get called a double harp, which has 2 sets of strings. So that was before the pedal mechanism was invented, where people were like, we need to get chromatic notes. So they just put 2 rows in. There was a triple harp, 3 rows of strings. So the
heck
middle
does that
row is
work?
diatonic, and then you have the sharps and flats
How do
on the
you-
outer rows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's this other harp that I've seen that has 2 rows of strings that cross over like this. And so you play one of them down here and one up there.
Oh, that's
There's
bizarre.
Paraguayan harps that you play with your fingernails. And Paraguayan harpists are like nuts. They play so fast.
Wow.
And then there's all kinds of variations like the koto.
Yeah,
which
that's
is like
right.
a
It was
Japanese.
yeah.
style
Is it
harp.
Is it
Chinese?
Chinese? I don't know. I think
should know
I was
that.
under the impression it was a Chinese harp, but
Yeah.
That's so cool.
yeah, they're awesome. They're the ones that like they have like the really long like fingernail
Yeah.
things and like
Yeah, they sound so cool. And then you can pitch bend the notes. Just like,
yeah. And you
That's
can
so
move
cool.
you can move that with like there's like the bridge of it. You can like move up and down to like change the
can
pitch
you?
of it. Yeah, it's really bizarre.
I've never played one, but I really want to.
Yeah. They're really cool.
So, tell us about the song that you performed.
The song.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I haven't heard of it.
I hadn't
before.
heard of it either.
You
Yeah,
haven't heard of it.
either.
It's
So-
one of my faves.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us
So
all
good.
about it.
So it's a hymn, All the Way My Saviour Leads Me, and the original hymn has a different melody, but that was a cover of a cover by a guy called Rich Mullins. Have you heard of Rich Mullins? He was a big contemporary Christian artist like 30 or 40 years ago. And my dad is really into Rich Mullins.
Right.
And so as a kid, before I developed my own music taste, I was just like, oh, my dad's into the coolest music. And so I listened to a lot of Rich Mullins
Yeah.
growing up.
yeah, I love Colin Buchanan.
The Wiggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that song just really stuck with me because the lyrics are so, I don't know, they just hit me right in the heart.
Yeah, and they are like are very like they're very rich and they're very honest, and I like the fact that it's like a very clear like beginning to end journey throughout the song.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think like I think that's like honestly one of the things I really like about hymns because like for example like How Deep the Father's Love for Us, right? Like it takes you from like the start of like Jesus going to the cross, right? And then it ends with like him like bursting forth in glorious day, right?
Yeah,
and then like
right.
that resurrection, like and like but the whole thing is like a story, right? And that storytelling is especially like obviously like with like as you go more and more contemporary, especially with worship music, I find that the storytelling is like kind of like less about storytelling, and then like the verses are more individual, and they always go back to the chorus, right? They always like go back to the chorus and then the verses and then back to the chorus. So it's kind of like the chorus has become the central piece. But in the hymns are almost always like this like long this story that goes on from like and like there's many songs. Obviously, most of the hymns are like that. There are some that aren't. But the storytelling, I think, is like a really valuable thing. And you get that in folk music a lot. You get like the whole storytelling effect. And I think that can be really good and people can really connect with that a lot easier. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on hymns and the value of hymns. Don't give up on hymns, people. They're really, really good songs.
Hymns are so good.
Yeah. I really like the end of the song. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, the last verse is like,
Yeah.
it's just such a good reminder of the hope that we have to look forward to.
Yeah.
And I listen to it when I get down, just like, yes, life is going to be hard. Jesus didn't promise us that life was going to be easy.
Yeah,
he said you will suffer, take up your cross and follow me. Cross, the symbol of death. It's like, you got to be ready to
Die.
pray. As a Christian, you got to be ready to pray, give an account for your faith, or die at any second.
Yeah.
I mean, not really now in like this civilization and like, Western society, we're pretty safe.
Yeah.
But
there's definitely some peeps like I say lots. There's lots of places in this world where that is the case. That really is the case.
Yeah.
And we think of our fellow brothers and sisters of Christ who are in underground churches all over the world. There's I was talking to I was at a youth care event, and there was this person was sharing, and they were saying that they started this Zoom meeting up basically, and they said anyone can join, and this person basically joined them in the middle of the jungle because they were like hiding, so they could continue like their church and whatever, and they were basically hiding in the jungle, and they've been there for like 2 years.
Wow.
So it's like it is crazy. Anyway. Bit of a tangent, but just a story that I heard recently, and I was like, "Wow, it's really challenging." So,
so cool.
there are people out there who are being persecuted to an extreme level.
yeah.
So, what's the hope that you have when someone hears you play?
All right. Just for them to be pointed to Jesus somehow.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
That's the hope of my life.
That's a good
answer.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a solid answer.
If I can check that box, I can die happy.
Well,
Yeah, no, it's all for Jesus. So
Well, I think you did a good job in the video.
praise God.
Actually mesmerizing. Like I was watching the strings. It's so cool. Like just like they're like woo, woo, and just sort of flowing
yeah,
around.
the bass
It's like
strings like.
it's kind of like it's like really feels like the harp is alive.
Oh.
Because it gives it's because the whole thing is like you just pluck it right, but then like the strings
Yeah.
keep moving. They like
That
dance
thing
along with it.
Will resonate. You can play a chord and leave it, and it will resonate for about 2 minutes.
Oh,
That's
really?
It's
awesome.
insane.
That's awesome. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
That's so cool.
And I love tuning it and putting my ear up to it, and you like purposely put a note flat and then just bring it really slowly up to tune, and you can hear all the
right,
the
yeah.
wavelengths just like
The wavelengths meeting
just
each other,
like,
and slowing down.
lining up. Yeah, it's insane. It's
you
so
do the
cool.
same on guitar.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
not as good though. Not as good.
It's like
Nowhere
crazy
near
2
as
against 3 polyrhythms. Just
That's
like,
so cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Damn. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
I love the harp too.
I don't play it, but
Sometimes
it's
I like
awesome.
sit and I'm just like, I play the harp, and it's like it's so removed. It's like
Yeah.
I don't consider it as. I don't know. If I see someone else playing the harp, I'm like, whoa, they're playing the harp. And I'm like, wait,
Oh,
I do
really?
that.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. Because
legit.
obviously for me, I'm like, oh, they play guitar. Like that doesn't surprise me. I like assume most people can just play guitar.
Yeah.
I was at a thing the other day and I was just talking to people and like my brain was like, oh, everyone just plays instruments here. And hardly anyone did. And I was like, oh, this is what's going on. This is really weird.
Yeah.
So that's weird. So yeah. So I guess it's so unusual to see people play harp that you're
Yeah.
surprised. Okay,
I
there you go.
love listening to other people play the harp.
How many people?
I like listening to people play the harp.
Well,
I don't like me playing harp.
you don't know that.
I did 3 chords. I did
I
play
mean,
3
they
chords
were
accidentally correctly.
Pretty nice chords, man. A minor,
Good stuff.
G,
A minor and G.
that F,
And the
It's
F.
like,
Oh,
yeah.
that was
Second
stressful.
inversion. Mwah.
How many people do you actually know that plays the harp besides you?
Ooh, I could probably list their names.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, that would. I actually know a lot.
You actually know
if,
a lot.
Okay, if I was to include, are you talking like professional harpists, students?
Let's say people you know
Kid.
personally.
People you know personally.
Oh gosh. Okay,
You don't have to name them.
probably like 20.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe more.
Do you know what? Genuinely, that's
20.
more people than I thought. Because
Yeah,
like
okay.
I just feel like it's really not that common.
Yeah.
You're the second
well,
person I know that plays harp.
who else do you know?
I know Monique.
Oh, of course, Monique. I know Monique.
I feel like you'd be
She was
right
really
on.
good.
You'd lock down who was playing harp.
Yeah, I
in
feel like
Yeah.
I think it would be a real shock if I knew someone that played harp that you didn't know. You must have like
I
there
would
must be
be
like an inner
a
club,
really-
right?
There must
Inner
be a
harp
support
club.
Yeah, an
group.
exclusive harp club.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
No, well, there used to be like youth harp competitions that ran.
Oh, right,
every
okay,
year.
no way.
I don't know if they're still running, but I met a lot of people through doing those, and then through like gigging around the place, I've kind of sussed out who the other professionals are and whose work I need to steal next. I'm joking. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Original artist. Yeah, the original. It was a cover of cover, but that's fine.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So, anyway, what we'll do? Is there anyone you want to shout out / plug
Ooh.
Or yourself.
or yourself? Yeah, plug yourself obviously as well.
Yeah.
Nah, that's like, is that conceded?
No,
No,
definitely
no, no.
not.
The point of the podcast.
That's somewhat, of the point is that you're
literally
here,
the
so you
point.
can.
Oh, okay.
You can be like, look at me, everyone.
Well, I will say one thing. I have an EP in the works, and hopefully it will be released this year. So keep an ear to the ground for that.
Okay. Here's what I will do, because I'm the one that puts out the YouTube videos.
Hey.
When that EP comes out, I will update the description
Hey.
with that EP.
Oh,
if
you're a legend.
If you're listening to this and then it's in the description, make sure you go click that link. Awesome.
Is there
Yep.
is there some place people can follow you to know when that comes out?
I'm so bad at posting.
That's fine.
Do you have a- do you
Instagram
have a-
and Facebook.
Yeah, what's it called?
But Instagram is kira.gunn @_harp. Kira.gunn_harp. That's my Instagram.
Double N.
Yep, double N. KIRAGUNN. And then Facebook is just Kira Gunn Harpist. That's like my page.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll put those in the description as well.
man.
Yeah.
And your band, is there anything?
Neshama.
Yeah.
Follow Neshama.
Neshama?
We don't have an Instagram, but we have a Facebook.
Cool.
Yeah.
Will you have an Instagram by the time this video comes out?
I doubt it.
That's fine.
Awesome.
That's fine. And is there anywhere that you're performing in the next little while
Ooh.
if people want to see
I gotta
you?
remember.
I'm just out of interest. I'm going to ask all the,
Not my own stuff.
yeah.
I'm trying to think when I'm playing in the world. Life is a blur.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can
feel
relate.
that.
I can relate. Yeah.
I think I'm. Oh no, this gig isn't confirmed yet. I'm just gonna say no for now.
Look, how about this? We'll direct them to your Facebook stuff, and then you can tell them there. So if you guys want to hear more of Kira's harp playing and with her band, go visit her Instagram, which is Kira_Gunn_harp.
Kira.gunn_harp.
Kira.gunn_harp. Thank you. And also go visit the Facebook page, which I can't remember either.
Guys, just go look in the description.
Just go look in the description, and then make sure you go listen to some absolutely top tier, fabulous harp playing. It's like it's genuinely so mesmerizing. Like when you were playing the song, I like sat down. I was just like just drifting away with the music. Like actually, just like so good. And it's like one of those. It is really one of those instruments where you can just like. You really can just sink into it like fully, like it's fully submersive instrument.
Puts you to sleep.
Yeah, that's right. Like you don't get that with drums really.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same thing.
Yeah, if they put you to sleep, they're not playing it right.
Yeah. They're just like doing like a shaker. There's like but it's not
Yeah.
really the drum kit, right? It's
Yeah.
percussion.
Do you reckon you
Anyway.
could fall asleep to a shaker?
Or if it was like a rain stick. I could definitely fall asleep to a rain stick.
I love there's one that's like
Sam's about
6
to
feet tall.
explode.
I can't
Say anything.
Wait,
Sam can't say anything.
We can't. We're not allowed to say anything.
allowed to
We'll
say
tell you
anything.
afterwards.
Yeah, you get the inside.
Alright.
Yeah, you get the eye scoop. All right. Anyway, you can find us at Make Creative on Facebook, Make Creative Worship on Instagram, and you can find us right here on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to know when our next video comes out. Thank you so much.
thank you so
coming.
much for having me.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Having you on.
Best
It's been
Monday night
actually
I've had in
awesome.
a while.
Yeah, it's actually so good. So
Yeah.
You guys are epic. This is
So-
such an encouragement.
yeah, you're an
Christians out here.
encouragement.
No, you.
All right. We're going to keep complimenting each other off camera, but until then, thanks for watching. Have an awesome week, guys.
We'll see you in the next episode. Yeah. And bye, Joel.
Bah.